Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to online sport program of APS Fort Road. We will start with the first week assignment of physics. Here we are going to discuss physics as a branch of science. Also we are going to discuss its introduction and basic concepts like physical quantities and physical units. Okay, physics is a branch of science which deals with the phenomena already present in nature happening around us. As you can see in this figure, you can see an aeroplane, you can see a vernier caliper, that is a measuring instrument, length measuring instrument you have already discussed. You can see mobile phones, you can see cars moving, and you can see a meter rule, or you can see a rainbow. All these phenomena are present all around us in nature. Study of these phenomena is under the scope of physics. Okay, coming towards the origin of the word physics. Physics is a basically Greek word. You can see on the map, Greece is located in Europe and it means nature. That's why under the scope of physics we study the phenomena happening in nature. So physics is defined as a branch of science which deals with the study of everyday phenomena. It aims to explain the phenomena in terms of fundamental laws of nature. We can study laws which govern the phenomena happening in nature. Another definition says that physics is the study of matter, energy, and their mutual relationship. About matter and energy, you have already known, but what will be the mutual relationship between matter and energy? The mutual relationship between matter and energy will be transformation of matter into energy or energy into matter. Okay, here's a little riddle for you. You can see on the screen, there's a cup of coffee. Why hot coffee will gradually turn cold after an hour? Or how your image can be formed on the mirror? Now coming towards the branches of physics, here are some major branches of physics that are known as mechanics, heat and thermodynamics, sound, light and optics, electricity and magnetism, atomic and nuclear physics, plasma physics, and geophysics. Now we will come to brief introduction. Okay, first of all is mechanics. Mechanics is the study of motion of objects, its causes and effects. Like you have seen cars moving on the road, or the persons traveling all around, or the aeroplanes flying. All these come under the scope of mechanics. Another branch of physics is known as heat and thermodynamics, which deals with the nature of heat and its modes of transfer and effect of heat on any object. It also deals with measurement of temperature. Another branch of physics is known as sound, which deals with physical aspects of sound waves, their production, propagation, properties, and applications. Sound gives us the sense of hearing. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to online sport program of APS Fort Road. We will start with the first week assignment of physics. Another very important branch of physics is known as electricity and magnetism. Electricity is basically the study of charges at rest or in motion and their effects and relationship with magnetism. Initially, electricity and magnetism were two different branches, but after studying their common aspects, we have combined them into one, that is known as electricity and magnetism. Okay, first of all is mechanics. Mechanics is the study of motion of objects, its causes and effects. Like you have seen cars moving on the road, or the persons traveling all around, or the aeroplanes flying. All these come under the scope of mechanics. You have already studied about three states of matter, that are solid, liquid, and gas. Now we are introducing another state of matter, that is known as fourth state of matter, that is known as plasma. And the study related with plasma is known as plasma physics. So plasma physics is study of production and properties of ionic state of matter, that is also called fourth state of matter. The last to discuss in this section is known as geophysics. Geo means earth. So geophysics is the study of internal structures of earth. We have already studied in previous classes that our earth is made up of different layers from the core to the surface. As you can see in this figure, we have splitted it into different sections. The study of all this is known as geophysics. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Here we go with the second part of our first week assignment, that is physical quantities and units. There is a famous saying by Lord Kelvin: when you can measure what you are speaking about and can express it in numbers, you know something about it. So in physics, we basically try to express everything in terms of numbers. Physical quantities are those quantities which are physically measurable. They are classified as base quantities and derived quantities. Base quantities are those physical quantities that cannot be defined in terms of any other physical quantity. They have their own specific definition. There are seven base quantities, which are length, mass, time, electric current, intensity of light, amount of substance, and thermodynamical temperature. No other physical quantity is termed as base quantity other than these seven. Coming towards derived quantities, those quantities which are expressed in terms of base quantities are called derived quantities. Physical quantities which are obtained from the base quantities using multiplication or division, or both multiplication and division, are called derived quantities. Quantities other than base quantities are derived quantities. Examples are speed, acceleration, area, volume, force, energy, pressure, and all others. So here we basically learned that physical quantities are classified into two types: base quantities and derived quantities. Base quantities are the basis of all the physical quantities, whereas derived quantities come out as a result of mathematical operation between two or more than two base quantities. Here you can see an example of a house which is made up of bricks. So brick is considered as the basic building block of the house. So in this example, it can be considered as a base quantity, whereas the house, which is a collection of bricks, is termed as a derived quantity. Now coming towards the other part of this topic, that is units. Units are those standards in which physical quantities can be measured. In old times, people have units for measuring anything that is convenient to them. You can see four measuring instruments on the screen, that is gill, pint, quart, and gallon. Gallon is the biggest of all these measuring units, whereas 1 quart is also a measuring unit, but that is smaller than a gallon and bigger than gill and pint. Gill is the smallest of all those, whereas pint is bigger than gill but smaller than quart and gallon. You can also see the conversion of gill into pint. 4 gills make 1 pint, whereas 2 pints make 1 quart, and 4 quarts combine to make 1 gallon. There are also other examples of dozens and sheets you can see on the screen. Coming towards system international units. While people are having their own units to measure anything, there is a need to have a unit that is accepted by everyone. So the International System of Units, or the SI, is the internationally agreed basis for expressing measurements at all levels of precision and in all areas of science, technology, and human endeavor. There are two classes of units in the SI: base units and derived units. Base units are those units that are associated with base quantities. You can see on the table that there are base quantities and their respective base units with the symbol. These units are called system international units for these quantities. Coming towards derived units are those which are used for derived quantities. You can see an example of speed. Speed is a derived quantity, and the formula for speed is equal to distance per unit time, whereas distance is a base quantity that is measured in meters, and time is also a base quantity that is measured in second. So when we replace this formula in terms of its units, so unit of speed comes out to be meter per second. Another example for derived quantity is force. Formula for force is equal to mass into acceleration. Acceleration is not a base quantity, so we try to replace it in terms of base quantities. Whereas we know that acceleration is equal to velocity per unit time. So the formula for force becomes mass times velocity divided by time. And velocity is also not a base quantity, so we write it in terms of distance per unit time. So the formula becomes mass into distance divided by time into time. When we replace units in this formula, it will become kg into meter divided by second into second. Kg for mass, meter for distance, and second for time. So the unit for force becomes kg meter per second square, which is also equal to 1 Newton. Another two examples you can see on the screen are area and volume. Area is equals length into width, and width is also measured in terms of meters, whereas volume is equal to length into width into height, and height is also measured in terms of meter. So the formula for area becomes length into length, and unit comes out to be meter into meter, that is meter squared. And for volume, the formula becomes length into width into height, and the unit comes out to be meter into meter into meter, that is meter cube. Here on this table you can see different derived quantities and the respective base quantities that are used in composition of those derived quantities and their derived units. Here is the mini exercise that is given on the page 5 of the book. You can see there is a big box whose dimensions are 1 dm or 10 cm in all directions. If we place 10 small boxes into this big box, each small box length will become 1 centimeter, because the big box is equal to 10 centimeter and we have placed 10 small boxes. So the volume of one small box comes out to be 1 centimeter cube, and the volume of the big box becomes 1 dm cube. Okay, now if we consider that this volume is equal to 1 liter, that is equal to 1000 milliliter, and we also know that this is equal to 1 dm cube. So if we change dm into cm, 1 dm is equal to 10 cm. So 1 dm cube will become 10 cm whole cube, that is equal to 1000 cm cube. If we divide both sides by 1000, 1 milliliter becomes 1 centimeter cube. Now you have to express 1 meter cube in terms of liters in the same way we have expressed 1 centimeter cube and 1 dm cube in terms of liters. In the quick quiz given on page 7, you have to answer these three questions. First is, how can you differentiate between base and derived quantities, that we have already discussed in this section. Identify the base quantity in the following: speed, area, force and distance. You have to pick which one is a base quantity. Third question is, identify the following as base or derived quantity. You have to make two columns and separate which ones are the base quantities and which ones are the derived quantities. Now coming towards exercise question 1.1 is multiple choice. You have four options for each set of questions. In the other part, you have to answer for these questions. Four questions from the exercise are selected with this topic. 1.2 is, what is the difference between base quantities and derived quantities, and you have to give three examples for both base and derived quantities. 1.3 is one, pick out the base units in the following. You have to answer it in the same way we have answered for the question number 3 in quick quiz, but in this case you don't need to make a column for derived quantities, you only need to make one column for base quantities. In question 1.4, you have to find the base quantities involved in each case of the following derived quantities, whereas for speed, volume and force we have already discussed. You only need to do it for work. In question 1.6, you have to state role of SI units that is played in the development of science. Thank you.